Hey everyone, so today we are going to talk about rank of a matrix, one of the very important number associated to a matrix. Okay, so now whenever you have a matrix, what is a matrix? It consists of rows and it consists of columns. Okay, so suppose if you have a matrix say of order m cross n, that means m rows and n columns. Now among these rows, now let's first concentrate on rows. Now when you have a rows, now among these rows, which rows are important to you? Now suppose if you have a row, if you have some one row which is dependent on another rows, that means what? If that row can be obtained from other rows, that means what? If that row is in the linear combination of other rows, that means what? That row is of not any interest to me. Why? Because I know that row can be obtained from other rows. So those are linearly dependent rows. What are other types of rows? Linearly independent rows. That means what? When you call a row to be independent, if that row cannot be obtained from other rows, right? So for the other rows, you do any linear combination, you will never get that particular row. Then we call such a row to be a linearly independent row. So I'm interested in independent rows, because once I have the independent rows, I will automatically get the dependent rows because they are depending on the previous rows. So given a matrix, we are interested in how many independent rows are there, and that number, the number of linearly independent rows, that number is called as the row rank of a matrix. So if someone asks you what is row rank, it is nothing but number of linearly independent row vectors. And the same notion is there for the column rank. So what will be the column rank? So you have the columns, you take a column. If it is depending on other column, okay, that is not of any interest to us. So look for those columns which are independent. That means those columns which cannot be obtained from other columns. So number of linearly independent columns is called as the column rank of the matrix. So if someone asks you what is column rank, you simply say their number of linearly independent column vectors. Okay, and there is a very nice theorem which says that row rank of a matrix is always equal to the column rank of a matrix. That means what? You take any matrix in the world, any rectangular matrix in the world, you see the number of linearly independent rows, you see the number of linearly independent columns, those two numbers are always same. And since our row rank is always same as the column rank, I will remove this term, and that's what you mean by the rank. So what is the rank of a matrix? It is number of linearly independent rows or number of linearly independent columns. And since this is always same, that's why this is a good number to study. Okay. Now question is how to find this rank of a matrix. Well, there are plenty of theorems, I will say, but one of the best one is by Gauss elimination method, the row echelon method or the row reduced echelon method, whichever you like. Why this is important? Because once you apply the operations, say for example row operations, and you reduce it to the triangular matrix or whatever, you get to the simplest form, then from that simplest form you can tell the row rank of a matrix, you can tell the column rank which is same, you can also tell which rows are independent, and you can also tell which columns are independent. So simply doing elementary row operations, once you get the reduced form of that matrix, you can tell me four things: row rank, column rank, which is always equal, which rows are independent and which columns are independent. Okay, so that's why I always prefer row operations. You can also go by column operation, but I'll be doing an example using row operations. Okay, so now let's go for an example. Now let's take this as an example and let's try to find the rank of this matrix. Now what is the order of this matrix? There are 5 rows and 4 columns. Now there is a one nice observation about the rank. So if you have a matrix of m cross n, then rank of A is always less equal minimum of m comma n. So this is the bound for a rank of a matrix. Okay, so in this case, what is m and n? It is nothing but m is 5 and 4, which is nothing but 4. So rank of A is always less equal 4. So rank of A is always less equal 4 for this matrix. And that's obvious, right? Why minimum? Because what is rank? Number of linearly independent rows or number of linearly independent columns. Now I have only 4 columns, so obviously I can't have 5 linearly independent rows. Number of linearly independent rows will also be less equal 4, because that is equal to the number of linearly independent columns. So you see the minimum of this, so your rank will always be less equal minimum of this. So minimum is 4, so rank, so either you will have 4 rows and 4 columns as linearly independent, or 3 rows and 3 columns independent, or 2 rows and 1 rows. Okay, and so that is one thing. And since this is a non-zero matrix, rank is always greater or equal 1. So for a non-zero matrix, we always have the bound on the rank. For a non-zero matrix, rank is always greater or equal 1, because only rank is 0 only for the zero matrix. As soon as you have at least one non-zero entry, rank becomes non-zero. So for a non-zero matrix, if your A is a non-zero matrix, then rank is always greater or equal 1 and always less equal minimum of m comma n. Okay, so one of the very nice relation that one should know. Okay, now we want to find the rank over here, so we do the row operations. So I will make this quantities as 0. So what I will do, I will make a change in R2, which is R2 minus 4R1, sorry, it is 2, no? So 2 times R1. I make a change in R3. What is the change? R3 minus 3R1. And I make a change in R4. R4 changes to R4 minus 4R1. If I do these changes, what do I get? So first row, there is no change. Second row, there is no change. Third, oh sorry, it should be third row. R3 minus 2 times R3 minus this R4 and R5. Yeah, my mistake. So R3 minus 2 times R1, so 0, 0, 0. Now let's go for the third row. This 0 minus 0 is 0. 4 minus 2 times this, which is 0. 12 minus 6 2s are 12, that's also 0. Let's go for the fourth row. 0 minus 0 is 0. 3 minus 3 times this, so 3 minus 6 is minus 3, and 9 minus 18 is minus 9. Last row, R5 minus 4, so 0, 0. 2 minus 8, minus 6. 6 minus 24, this is 4, right? So 6 minus 24 is minus 18. Okay, cool. Now you do, I will need this matrix. So I hope this is clear to you. So let me erase this again. And now here it is non-zero thing, right? So you make this entry as 0. So what you do, R5 changes to R5 minus 2 times R4. So once I do this, my this first row, there is no change in first, second, third, fourth row. Only change is here. So minus 6, minus minus plus 6. This becomes 0. And minus 18, minus minus plus 18. This also becomes 0. So finally, what do we have? We have, so let me rewrite this again. So this is the row equivalent matrix to this matrix. Now you further can't do the row operations. If you want, you can make this one by dividing this row by minus 3, but it's okay. Now you see how many non-zero rows are here. So as you can see, the first row and the fourth row is non-zero. So therefore, number of non-zero rows after getting the equivalent form for this matrix, then that is the rank. But that's not the definition, okay? Many times when I ask what is the rank of a matrix, students usually say that you take a matrix, apply row operations, then after doing the row operations, just see how many non-zero rows are there. That is the rank. That is not the definition, that is the technique to find the row rank or the rank. Okay, actual definition is what are the number of linearly independent row vectors or number of linearly independent column vectors. So make sure you are clear with the difference between the definition and how to find the rank. So this is an algorithm or a method to find the rank. So once you do the row operations, you just see how many non-zero rows are there. So that number of non-zero rows is the rank of the matrix. So how many non-zero rows? First and the fourth. So therefore row rank is nothing but 2. And as we know that column rank is also 2. But then I have done the row operations. I have not done the column operations. But after doing the row operations, can you tell me the column operations from there itself? Yes. No need to do the column operations separately. So how can you say the column rank? You see the number of pivot entries. Pivot entries means see a row, see the leading non-entry 0, non-zero entry. So this is non-zero entry. There is no non-zero. There is no non-zero. Here there is non-zero entry. Here there is no non-zero. So as you can see, there are two pivot entries, pivot. So therefore column rank is also 2. So simply by doing row operations, you can also tell me the column rank by looking at number of pivot entries. And to tell the column row rank, simply tell the number of non-zero rows. Okay, so number of non-zero rows are 2, number of pivot entries are 2, row rank and column rank both are 2. That is the rank is 2. Good, so we know the rank. What are the remaining two things? Now question is, now since the row rank and the column rank is 2, that means what? In this matrix, only 2 rows are independent. Now question is, which are those 2 rows? So you see, which rows are coming out to be non-zero? As you can see, the first and the fourth row is coming out to be non-zero. Therefore in this matrix, this vector and this vector are linearly independent vector. Rest all second row, third row and the fifth row can be obtained from 1 and 4 by some combination. Okay, so therefore linearly independent row vectors are nothing but 1 0 2 6. That is the first vector. What is the second vector? 3 0 3 9. So these are the two row vectors which are linearly independent. Okay, and now one can ask, which are the column vectors? Do you need to do column operations? No, not required. You simply look pivot entries are in which column. So as we can see, the pivot entries is in the first column and the third column. Therefore in this matrix, this column and this column are linearly independent column vectors. This is a 0. 0 vector is always dependent, and this is nothing but you can see it is 3 times this vector. So this is depending on this. 0 is, it is 0 times this vector. So only these two column vectors are independent. Okay, so simply doing the row operations, once you have the equivalent form for this matrix, this is called as an equivalent form. Okay, you just see number of non-zero rows, which is the row rank. You see how many non-zero pivot entries you are having, or how many pivot entries you are having, that is the column rank. And how to find which are the linearly independent rows? You simply look which rows are non-zero, correspondingly then those will be the linearly independent row vectors. And for the column vectors, you see where are the pivot entries. So it is in the first and the third column. So first and third column, these are linearly independent column vectors. Okay, so simply by doing row operations you get all the answers. Now let me give you one homework question. So here is a 4 cross 4 matrix and it's a non-zero matrix. So I know that rank of A is between 1 to 4. So do the row operations. Actually if you look smartly over here, your second row is a multiple of first row. Second row is 3 times the first row. So if you can see these nice things directly, then definitely one row is dependent. So here directly you can say the rank has to be between 1 and 3. But it's okay even if you don't know, if you can't observe such things. Simply do the row operations, make this 0, bring it to the reduced form or the row echelon form, and just see number of non-zero rows. So for this example, in the comment section, you have to tell me the rank of the matrix and you have to tell me which rows are independent and which columns are independent. So I hope you understood this. If you have any other question related to this topic, you can ask me in the comment section. And if you understood this lecture, then do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.